I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be victim of a drive-by hugging. Well, that doesn't sound good. You'd much rather have to be the victim of a really smoking hot girl who comes along and just fucking grabs you and makes out with you passionately. But like a hug, it's like, come on, man. Got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hey, Coach, what do you do if you're a victim of a drive-by hugging?" Well, if you're going for a kiss and the girl gives you a hug, it's usually not a good sign. Or she could be really freaky shy, which obviously is what this video newsletter is about. So let's read a little further. He says, "I've been out recently with a woman that is so shy she can barely look at me when she talks to me." All right. If a woman can't look you in the eye, that's a sign of a chick with a low self-esteem. In other words, she's got limiting beliefs in her mind running around her head that says, I don't deserve this person, and I don't think once they really get to know me, they're going to want to stick around long term. When you date a person that has a belief system like that, it can make things really difficult and full of drama, especially if you continue to date them and ignore those signs, because as they start to fall for you and they become more and more attracted, then they start displaying a lot of the same kind of needy tendencies that I see guys doing all of the time. And that's not a good way to go either, because it's going to turn you off and you're not going to be very happy with this girl. And at the end of the day, when I see any kind of sign, this is something that I notice right away. I mean, for me to date a girl and go out with a girl, when I look her in the eye, I know. I just feel it inside. It's like a switch that goes off internally. It's like I've had that same kind of feeling when I've sat down with somebody and I knew I was going to get the job, or I really wanted to work there. Everything just felt right. Everything just flowed. Everything was just effortless. There's no doubt, well, I don't really like her butt, or her boobs aren't really big enough, or her hair's not really or her skin's not really. It's like there's none of that stuff going on in your mind. There's no doubt. There's no hesitation. There's nothing inside of you that's saying, wait, it's just, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And you just go for it. Now, like when I used to be younger, when I would feel this feeling around women that I really liked, I didn't know how to handle it. It's like, in a way, you see it in the movies so many times, and it's like they make such a big deal out of the moment when you meet the perfect girl. Will you be ready? And it's so natural when it happens in real life. And so it's like you get around a girl you really like, and if you haven't practiced, if you haven't applied the things I teach in my book, it's scary. You become unglued. You don't know what to do. You start being self-conscious. You start focusing on what you're going to say next instead of living in the moment. Instead of this magical, easy thing just happening just as if you ran into an old friend at the grocery store somewhere, instead of it being as easy and effortless as that, it becomes this big struggle and this drama and this ordeal, and she can look at you and she can see that like inside you're just fucking going bananas trying to figure out what to say next, and it's just unnatural. And so she goes from thinking, wow, this guy's really awesome, to, oh, this guy's like, something weird's going on over there. It's like, maybe you should go get yourself a drink, and I'm gonna go over here. It's like you give off a weird vibe, and it doesn't end well. And it's so easy, it's so natural. You're standing there, it's like, I talked about this the other day. I met a gal in the grocery store the other day, and it's just because the stuff that I tend to buy gets me noticed, because it's like this, nobody has this giant pile of celery and greens and apples and cucumbers and wheatgrass and all this stuff. Just people are like, you obviously juice. So I turn around, it's because this is why you need to be prepared. This is why the video that I did where I talk about being friendly to everyone, everywhere. So I'm chatting with the clerks, I'm chatting with the dudes, bagging my shit up. And then I turn around, I see this, the corner of my eye, I see this, as I'm putting my credit card stuff in, I see this really cute girl coming up, and she's in sweatpants and everything. I could tell she was looking at me, and I could just feel the vibe. It's like, have you ever been in line, you just kind of feel like someone's staring at you or checking you out, and as soon as you turn, you look, they could be in the car next to you, and you catch them looking at you. It's the same thing. It's like, so I felt this. I felt this vibe. I could feel the desire. I could feel that she liked what she saw. And it's like, as soon as I turned to her, I was just went, hey, what's up? How's your day? It was just something really simple and innocuous. That's pretty much all I really had to say to this girl, Because she went on for like 3 or 4 minutes about juicing and asking me questions about what I juice. She starts telling me without me even asking what her juicing recipe is, the kind of machine she uses. And she's making an effort to keep the conversation going. Why? Because she likes me. And that's what happens. There's no fireworks going off in the background. There's no trumpets. There's no singers that jump out from behind the aisle like the shit you see in the movie. It's not a big deal, dude. Picking up chicks is really not a big deal. And if you're struggling with it, it's because you're making it into a big deal. So, on that note, so he says, this is perplexing. And so, the reason I went through that is because I want you to understand what that looks like and what it feels like. And when I'm looking at the camera, I'm trying to impart what I think and what I feel and what I'm internalizing in my body to you. So when you're in those situations, you can literally think and feel exactly the way I think and feel. And that's why I say I put all this stuff out there, because you can try it and you go, wow, this shit really does fucking work, Corey. So he says, this is perplexing. She's a mother of a 9-year-old. She's in her mid-20s and she doesn't seem to have much experience at all. She could have been abused. She could have been raped. She could have been from just a dysfunctional, fucked up family. And so she never learned those skills of how to show up in a relationship. And so my question to you is, do you really want to teach somebody all of that stuff? Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. I'd much rather that person go off and do the work on themselves that they need to do, and then you in turn go and find somebody who's got her shit together, instead of showing up and going, hey Corey, I got a list a mile long of all the baggage and all of the red flags in this girl. Do you think I should just ignore them and look past it? And because I want things to be easy and effortless, because life is hard enough. Being a man and pursuing your career, pursuing your purpose, it's difficult enough. It's challenging enough. Women in your life, relationships in your life, girls that you're dating, should be like the icing on the top. It should be like the cherry on the top of the sundae of the great life that you've built for yourself. It shouldn't be a drag. You shouldn't be focused on trying to solve their personal problems or their health problems or their relationship problems or their divorce problems or their drama with their kids or the fact that they've got self-esteem issues. It's just because you end up spending a lot of your time and energy trying to fix somebody else instead of just enjoying the completeness of who they are and them enjoying the completeness of who you are. I want things to be effortless for you. I don't want things to be a struggle. And so when you start talking to me about girls like this, it's like already I don't like what I'm hearing, because it's going to be difficult for you. And it's like, why? It doesn't need to be that way. He says, I've never been with such a shy girl, and her best friend has informed me that she's terrified of a new guy, that she's extremely shy. Now, at the end of our third date, we were sitting in her car, and she can barely look at me. Third date, and she still can't look at you. Come on. He says, I lean over to talk with her, said her name, and she quickly turns her head and starts kissing me, somewhat passionately. However, when I slipped down to the nape of her neck and kissed her, she straightened up like a bolt of electricity hit her, looked straight ahead, and wished me a good night. It's like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Instead of making out, leading into heavy petting, and her going, hey, you want to come in for a few minutes, or would you like to come up? She's like out of the car and freaks out because she can't deal with it. That's really what's going on here. Like, that's not exciting. That's not normal, dude. So he says, wow, this is crazy. I called her out on her shyness and made a joking remark of me being the victim of a drive-by hugging. She was like, shit, you caught that? Damn. I said, hey, you're really shy. And she was like, yes, I so am. He says, I backed off and tried to get her relaxed, and it was like, so she's shy like that. And then that's when you say something like, you know what's really great to overcome your shyness? If you kiss me passionately for the next 5 minutes, I promise you'll be 1,000 times more comfortable and feel a hell of a lot better than you do right now. So kiss me right now. Like, don't talk, just kiss me, bring those lips over here, and do something like that. And get her to keep kissing instead of getting in your head and focusing on the fact that she's all awkward, and now you make her feel even more awkward. Remember, women are emotional beings, and now you're causing her to associate a negative energy and a negative vibe with the two of you, instead of just being playful and taking the interaction to where you want to. Remember, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to lead it to where you want to go. She becomes unsure, and then you start wanting to talk more about the drama And then, she's gone. She bolts. That's the only thing I personally would have done differently. But at the end of the day, this girl's throwing up all kinds of red flags. I personally I wouldn't even be on a date with this girl in the first place. But this is your life, and I'm trying to help you out to help you accomplish what it is that you want. So he says, I text her later thanking her for being patient with me as she waited since I was a few minutes late to our date. It's like, now you're apologizing because now you kind of feel guilty about the fact that she's got a shyness issue. And so this is not making you look stronger in any particular way. There's no need to apologize for that. If anything, she should be apologizing for you because she had this great guy that was hanging out and she was kissing him passionately, and all of a sudden she bolted out of the car and had some kind of emotional freak out, and she could have ruined her chances with you. Let her apologize to you. Let her say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was so shy." It's like, "Hey, don't worry. Great. When are you free to get together for a drink? And why don't we just get together and make dinner at your place, and I'll bring a bottle of champagne and we can just chill." I mean, it's real simple. Do something simple like that if she reaches out to you. So he says, she responded, "No problem," and she had a good time and talked to you later. He says, "Corey, honestly, I've never been with such a shy girl. Is this worth pursuing?" In my book, absolutely fucking not. I wouldn't waste my time, but it's your life, dude. You can do whatever you want. He says, "I've had most of my experience with women that did what they pleased and didn't hold back." Me too. When you meet a woman that doesn't hold back, just like the women I wrote about in my book, it's really fucking easy to be with, and they're gorgeous. They have a high self-esteem. They have a lot of confidence. And when you look a woman in the eye, she'll look you right back. She ain't going to look away. Because if she likes what she sees, she ain't looking away. And she's going to keep staring at you until one of two things happen. Either A, you look away, or B, you come over and you introduce yourself to her and you create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen, because obviously she likes what she sees. It's amazing when that happens. But this is not a lot of fun. This is going to create a lot of drama and a lot of heartache in your life. Because, I mean, think about it. There's going to be moments when you want to spend with her and you can't because she's having an emotional conniption, or she can't deal with it, or she's backing away. It's just, I dated a woman that was passive-aggressive, and it'd fucking drive you nuts after a while. You want a chick that's like, "Hey, baby, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm not doing anything." "Hey, why don't we get together and go grab some dinner?" "Great, awesome." And then you just go. You go hang out. You call her when you want to call her. She calls you when she wants to call. It's not a big deal. But chicks like this, it's just, God, it's just not worth it. Did I say it's not worth it? That's my opinion. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. He says, "Is this girl shy to the point where it's a waste of time trying to break down the walls? At this time, I'm working on me and pursuing other options as well, so I will wait until she contacts me and then set the next date with her. Totally living the hanging out, having fun, and hooking up mantra." Well, what I would do if I were you is I would wait a week. Call her. If you really want to go out with this girl again, wait a week, call her, invite her out, and just see how she is. Because you got to get to the point where this girl is reaching out to you. Because if you go out, I mean, you've already been out 3 times. And so if this girl's not reaching out to you or texting you at all, she either has low interest or she's emotionally fucked up. And either one of those 2 options, if me personally, I wouldn't want anything to do with it, but it's totally up to you. It's your life. So if you want to get my help personally with a situation or a challenge that you're having in life or in business or in relationship, or you want to improve your pickup skills, you're having problems with your business, or you want to figure out what your purpose is in life, go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there's a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, just download one of their free e-reader apps if you don't have a Kindle device to watch or to read my Kindle ebook on. And I will talk to you soon.